So I fielded an interesting question a few weeks ago and it turned into an Automator script, a really simple Automator script, and I thought it was very useful. And the idea is to enclose selected text in some sort of characters, like for instance quotes. So I could select, say, this sentence here and say I want to enclose it in quotes. Well, I could go and add, of course, a quote here and a quote there and do it that way. But what if this is a task I need to do pretty often? I'd love to be able to select the text and then hit a shortcut and quotes go around it. So how would you do this? Well, you can do it in Automator. So let's launch Automator and let's create a new script. So I'm going to go New and I'm going to do a quick action. This will allow me to add something to the services menu of applications. So I'll choose that and I get some options up here. I could say I want it to receive something automatic, or in this case I'm going to say I want it to receive rich text because this is really only going to be something I use in text. I'm going to use it in Pages, for instance. In any application, so that way in Pages but maybe also in other apps that I use for text editing. And then I'll just stick with the default images and color. And the only thing I need to put in here is a JavaScript piece of code. Now JavaScript, when I add the run JavaScript Automator action, it gives me a function which accepts input. And the input is going to be what comes in from the action. So in this case it's going to be the text. So all I need to do is manipulate that text, and this is so easy to do in JavaScript. So I'm going to do input equals and then I'm going to put quotes and then I'm going to create the quotes. I'm going to do option and the left bracket for the curly quote on the one side. Put that in quotes and plus the original input plus and then in quotes shift and option and the left bracket to get to the other side of the curly quotes. And so that changes the input to be the input plus a quote on the other side. Then it's going to return it. Now there's a checkbox up here that says output replaces selected text. That's exactly what we want. Great. So I'll select that and it looks like we're ready to go. I'll do Command S for save and I'll save it as enclose in quotes. There we go. So I can now quit Automator and go back to Pages. Now in Pages, if I go to Pages Services, this is where I will find it. But before I actually even use it, I'm going to go to Services Preferences. And this will take me to System Preferences. Here I can close most of the options here and look for text, and sure enough there is enclose in quotes, and this is where I get to add a keyboard shortcut. So I'm going to do Command and then the left, just the single quote, which is also the double quote there. So that's a really easy one to do as a shortcut. I don't think it's being used for much else, and that should take care of it. So now when I look under Services and I look enclose in quotes, I'll see that that's the shortcut. I could just use this menu item here, but instead I'm going to use the keyboard shortcut. I'll do that and you can see it encloses that in quotes. So I can select anything I want and enclose it in quotes. You can use this for a variety of different things. So for instance I could, instead of using quotes, I could have used parentheses, or something that's a little harder to type. There's all sorts of odd characters that you could do. There's square brackets, there's curly brackets. There are brackets or quotes for other languages, so you can use those. So there are all sorts of different things you may want to enclose text in for different reasons, and you can create scripts for these.